Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cordumt and we are going to continue our adventure in Rogue Trader. So, at the end of the last episode we had a big dialogue section over here and we had also leveled up. So I went through the choices for the level ups, made some decisions, and we are now going to start by, doing the level ups for all of our characters. So, our main character is going to begin by getting a bonus to Fellowship. I do believe this is our primary attribute, and it also counts for the skills that we want, or that I want. That's one. And then we have a common talent to choose from, and there's a lot of cool things here, like little passive bonuses, such as, for example, swift movements for more movement points, nimble giving you a 10% bonus to dodge. Just stuff like that is quite interesting. A lot of proficiencies and stuff like that. But I was looking also at my origin choices as well as my noble choices. And I think the one I'm going to go for is the you do something. If a noble uses an ability on their servant, the servant gains +1 AP next turn. Does not stack with itself. So I think this could be very useful, because if I'm going to give someone a command for an extra turn, for instance, giving them an additional action point, naturally it needs to be the servant, but I tend to focus more on Argenta or Abelard if I think it's suitable. Giving them an additional action point for their turn, I think, can open up some new and interesting possibilities. So I think this is the one I'm going to be picking. So yeah, Fellowship and you do something. Moving on to Argenta. And something I noticed, these talent trees are not the same for different archetypes. So as you just saw, my officer had a common talent, she actually has a talent. So this does need to be taken into consideration for every single archetype. I'm gonna buff ballistic skill. I want the range attacks to be as accurate as possible. And then in terms of talents, I was actually considering a lot of stuff here, such as, for instance, Swift Slaughter. I thought this could be an interesting pickup. It will basically mean that your Revel in Slaughter can be used after 2 kills instead of 3. But what I'm kind of feeding over here is that if we're going to be playing on Unfair, damage taken and cover bonuses and stuff like that, I believe can be a problem. So, and also in fights where maybe there's not that many enemies, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case or not, this might not really prove to be that useful. So I actually even changed my favorites here for some things that are a little bit more defensive. And the one I'm actually going to be picking right now is actually Fortress. So while the soldier has full cover against an enemy, the soldier gains plus 10% damage against that enemy, and the enemy's attacks deal 20% less damage against the soldier and their cover if the cover is present at the moment when the shot is fired, even if the cover is destroyed by the shot. So it's both an offensive skill as well as a defensive skill all in one. So I think it can be quite handy, at least for the moment. So Ballistic Skill and Fortress, it's done. Moving on to Miss Idira. I'm going to be giving her not intelligence or perception. I'm going to be giving more willpower, because like I mentioned before, I'm building her more as a psyker than necessarily an operative. So willpower is the main casting stat for the psyker. And then she also has a common talent. But a cool characteristic here is that in the common talents we have a lot of stuff from the psychers. So we get to pick a lot from the psyker tree, which is cool. And I do believe that the one I was going for is Second Sight. So we picked up Psychic Barrage, which means that whenever the psyker uses damaging psychic power on targets that are 6 cells or farther from the psyker, the targets suffer an additional ballistic skill in terms of damage. This will actually increase our range. Oh, but no, wait, I think I wanted to go for something different first. Oh, no, sorry. I want to go for something different first. I want to go for this one, Aftershock. So every time the Psyker deals mental damage from any source other than Aftershock, the target suffers half as much mental damage at the end of its next turn. Now, this might not be very interesting if we're talking about very weak enemies. I would also prefer if the half damage would be at the start of their turn, not at the end, but I think it could be a worthwhile pickup for just overall more damage coming out of her. So to summary, more willpower and we're picking up Aftershock. And finally, moving on to Mr. Abelard. This guy gets a characteristic and also a talent. And in terms of talents, let me see if I remember what I was going for. Ah, right. This one is actually quite easy. I'm going for Hardened Scars. So the same reason as I picked Thick Skin, so he gets +1 damage deflection, parry, chances increased. Hardened Scars, whenever the warrior is hit under the effect of Endure, which is something that I will want to have pretty much all the time, their damage deflection is increased by 1 until the warrior's next turn. So especially if somebody is targeting me with something like a burst from a not very damaging pistol, it can increase our deflection by quite a lot. Maybe even targeting him with one of my allies could be something worthwhile. In terms of characteristics, again, for the same reasons as I am building them up to this point, Thick Skin, Hardened Scars, Toughness. Just makes sense, right? So extra staying power for Abelard. And the level ups are done. Now, before we proceed, something that I want to do is I want to speak with Argenta, because she did give us a quest to speak with her.
Rogue trader.
So right now I'm going to try and develop her quest line, because I believe all companions have quest lines, at least all of the other Owlcat games did. And I'm also gonna learn a little bit more about her. It's my first playthrough, so I do want to see these options. Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes, her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's a little on edge. You said you have a personal request for me?
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, I've been trying over a couple of episodes to see if I can improve the quality of the sound or the volume of the NPC voice acting, because I feel like it's kind of low. It's sometimes hard for me to understand if it's a good level or not. So if you can, leave a comment just letting me know if it's fine or if you want it higher or lower, and I can adjust accordingly. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancius' territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans? Well, I agree. Okay, so I will meet with them, no formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valancius dynasty. My consideration is the least that they deserve. I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart. Oh, and we do this right now. Okay. That's fine with me. So I'm coming with Abelard, I think? The motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from a fairy tale. What is this word, man? Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Abelard glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the Schola progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. A division of the ecclesiarchy responsible for the upbringing, education, and training of orphans of those officers and nobles who have died in the service of the Imperium. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valencius. Yeah, so grandly addressing some orphans I don't think is the proper way to do. Smile at the group. Address the chaperones. Well, wait, maybe? I, the rogue trader and Lord Captain of this ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honor to the von Valencius banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them, and I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. Yeah, I actually think this one is better than this one. So, go for this. The teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the row seem sullen enough and not particularly impressed by your speech. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches?" Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impudence. So we can address the chaperones. Their comportment leaves much to be desired. Punish the troublemaker. Man, I am also looking forward to doing a very imperialistic playthrough with stuff like this. Punish the troublemaker, put the rest back in the base. Yeah, if you have things to say them without fear. I will listen. The boy smiles grimly. It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on this ship until we drop and die like our folks. Or worse. That's a lot of options, dude. Okay, so No. No. Okay. So I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through. But they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives you a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with von Valencius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears that the Seneschal came prepared for any contingency. So they're giving him some kind of treats, I guess? It's a little condescending, but it's okay. Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Alright. I am gonna try and do good for my people. As a rogue trader, that will be my priority. Okay, we're going back to the bridge. Just a tiny quest, I guess. And since I spoke to her, I am going to continue learning about Sister Argenta. And I might do the same thing for the other companions as well. Get that done right now.
Greetings.
Okay, so even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy. With her dark eyes shining and a slight blush to her cheeks, she is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. Tell me about yourself.
About me?
Oh, it's voiced.
I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
Well, how did you end up on Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the pirate attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
She stops short. So basically her expression darkens visibly.
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship. while her crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I'd barely recovered from my wounds when the pirates struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more. And it's bound to happen someday.
And I hope it does. And I'm also there, present. You mentioned making a mistake.
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Okay. Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
Well, we could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost.
Aww.
All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous Navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
Fair enough. And what was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistic systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the pirates. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Okay, so there's definitely some tension between her and Adira. Okay, so no more questions, thank you.
As you wish.
Tell me about the Adeptus Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. I beg your pardon, rogue trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
So Ecclesiarchy is how you pronounce this. Okay, learned something new. They say the Adeptus Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Are all sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness. Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield.
They go melee.
Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
Debatable. So what order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
You said you belong to the Calixian branch of your order. What brought you to the Coronis Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Parson Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Drusians. Followers of the cult of Saint Drusus, a legendary hero of the Angevin Crusade who founded the Calixis sector for the Imperium of Man. Are there any other members of the Adeptus sororities in the Coronis Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
So, Ecclesiarchy, Adeptus Ministrotum, the religious body of the Imperium, also known as the Ecclesiarchy, which venerates and promotes the worship of the Emperor of Mankind. Okay, so no more questions about the Sisterhood.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Okay, so what is it that's keeping you in my retinue?
This ship was targeted by heretical pirates, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the Rogue Trader's crew.
Okay. Yeah, well, it pleases me to have a servant of the Golden Throne in my crew. May the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught.
So they shall.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Well, thank you for this conversation. Until next time. Okay, so I rethought what I said before. I'm not gonna go for all of the companions right now. I think it would be way too much. I'll try to space it out a little bit. Like, we're gonna try and explore and maybe go for some quests, and when we come back to the bridge, I'll talk with another companion and, you know, get through it gradually. So, the Coronis Expanse map is where we decide and where we move from place to place, which is what we're going to see right now. Star systems. The events of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader take place in a vast region of space known as the Coronis Expanse. This sector is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You will find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new, uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Each star system contains objects you can interact with. Such objects are marked as points of interest. Move your ship to a point of interest, then click left mouse button on it to initiate the event or open the planet view. Okay, so essentially we are over here, this little tiny green ship. And we have several places that we can explore. We have Eurac V, which apparently contains the quest for the guide, so the Navis nobility. Ricad Majoris. Ricadiphilia, the prison planetoid. Okay, another quest here. An identified void ship, which could be an enemy or a friend. And Ricad Minoris, where we have 3 quests. New Blood, Machine Spirit Keeper, and Land on Ricad Minoris. I'm gonna start with this one because we can pick up something here that I think is relevant for us right now. So let's go over there for the guide quest. Vox Master Vigdis. Lord Captain, reporting. The heralds of the Navis nobility continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Eurac V being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis nobility house requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Okay, well, contact the station again, I will negotiate personally. The Vox relays the cadent sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I am sorry, Lord Captain, the station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Okay. Well, then, order the Augur crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and Vigdis's measured voice. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed Navigator's heralds ignoring us? Wait, I don't get this answer. What? Turn back, no one dares give me orders. Did I just miss something? No, I don't think I missed anything. I don't know what this is answering. Okay, whatever. By what he's describing, honestly, it seems like they need help. So order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so we will have to look for the esteemed Navigator's blind. Dock safely and may the God Emperor light your path. Alright. Wait, what? The Navis nobility station is not responding to any signals, but the Augur arrays have detected biological signatures in the main chamber. The rogue trader's only option is to perform an emergency docking and personally investigate. Okay. So we need a new navigator, but they're not responding, and something strange is happening on their void station. It appears outside intervention is required. Alright, so... do I have to do this again? Okay. What is a tithe grade? I don't know. So, added to the Worlds of the Expanse. Huh? It's not aware. Oh, maybe it's like an encyclopedia of the worlds that we know. Interesting. So, Eurac V, let's go with our party members. And see what's happening. Well, dead people is happening. People killing people, it seems.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Man, the voices sound so low. Immortal Emperor, deliver your servants from peril. Prayers will not help you, servant of the damned. In the name of House Orcelio, I command you to execute the infidels. That's no bueno. Well. That's... There's a little bit of delay. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. Felek Orcelio. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. So this is another name for the warp, and he is a navigator. We can answer in the High Gothic. I am rogue trader Cordumt von Valancius, and I am no enemy of the Nevis nobility. Sure? This system has been under the protection of the Winterscale dynasty for many years. Admittedly, I don't expect to meet another rogue trader in my lifetime. And since fate has brought such an important person into my abode, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felix Christoph August, keeper of this station. So, you did not come to offer support to the traitors? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Eurac V is a holy sanctum for House Orcelio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say, you are not on the guest list. What is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal. A most banal thing in the life of the nobility, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend Theobald Orcelio, the second keeper of Eurac V and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators. My own people? Blew up the shuttles and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felix falls silent for a few moments and then furiously slams the end of his staff into the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. Okay, so we can take him by force to use him as a navigator. We can just attack him. Okay, so what kind of... Actually, I still have questions concerning the situation on the station. Our idle chatter will not save Lady Cassia, but if you need to be sure of something before you can help, so be it. Well, tell me about your mistress. Regretfully, I am not allowed to discuss my mistress, whether with her retinue or the outsiders. She will tell you about herself personally if she feels like it. That is, assuming she survives. I am begging you not to waste any more of our precious time, for it is running out. And what makes you think your mistress is still alive? A spark of concern flickers in the black pits of Felix's eyes. You may not believe me, but Lady Cassia is capable of... The navigator cringes, seemingly in pain, and furiously exhales. Incredible things. Not even the traitor Theobald can easily harness her power. My men have reported that the station is in deplorable state. The navigator irritably brushes away a strand of bloodied hair. Trust me, I should know. Everything happened too quickly. There were dozens of reports of accidents, victims, and failing systems. But the only precious thing aboard this station is Lady Cassia's life. Everything else is futile and can easily be replenished. Why did you not respond to the messages from Reich Adminoris? I have already said Eurac V is sacrosanct. It is the holy domain of the Nevis nobility, and it is forbidden for commoners from the world below. We had hoped to solve the crisis on our own, but when the situation spiraled out of control, we could not establish contact because the traitors had disabled our equipment. Okay, enough questions. I hope your curiosity is fully satisfied. Okay, so what kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Felek takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood and winces in pain. And yet, Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the Mistress's chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part and the other was lost during the mutiny, but even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. Okay, so how do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the Mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priest ceaselessly performed the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. Okay, and how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. Okay, well I guess I can ask this, although I see that he's injured. If it is so simple, why don't you do it yourself? I never see it said... Oh my god. Okay, I've been reading too much dialogue. For some time now, it's getting troublesome. I never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory in the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis nobility or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. I guess that makes sense. So have you decided, descendant of the von Valensis line? Let's be good people. The walls of your house upset the balance of power in this part of the galaxy. I will help you, if not for the sake of profit, but for the good of the Imperium. Yeah, sure. Felek nods curtly. You should hurry then. We will stay here to hold the line and lick our wounds. Good luck, Rogue Trader, and may the Emperor's light be with you. And we received a phylactery of blood. Okay. So restart the elevator. We have a check right here for awareness.
Oh, come on.
Which I think she failed. It doesn't show. Yeah, it doesn't show. The corpses were brutally mauled by an unknown force, their faces frozen in grimaces of terror. Yeah, okay, so we failed that check.
Follow my lead.
We have some goods here. A multi-key and then some cargo, which is basically just gold. Okay. And we have enemies over there, but we cannot get through.
It's about time.
White, bright, pure color, and it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying? Okay, this is basically Idira speaking to herself, I imagine. We have an athletics check over here, 70% chance to win.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Good. We rolled a 67, nearly failed. Now, we did see enemies over there. Can I... How would I want to...
Do you see that?
A trap. And demolition is actually the characteristic to disarm traps. Well, actually, sorry, let me reformulate that. You disarm traps based on their type. There are some which are demolition, others are even like lore, Xenos and stuff like that. So, there are enemies over there. And I feel that if I go through this way... Oh no. At the ready, the conspirators are trying to break through the guard rooms. Okay. Yeah, I feel like if I go this way, I might have a better chance of fighting them than if I go through here. Is it possible even? Yeah, it is, okay. I just want to disarm this first. But that guy is gonna warn them. Maybe.
Never doubt me.
Okay. Trap up ahead. Order your character to disable it. If a character enters a trapped area or fails the test to disarm it, the trap will trigger, dealing damage and inflicting injuries on all characters within its area of effect. Sometimes you will see a trap marked with a red area and a connecting dotted line. So if you've played Wrath of the Righteous, you will know what this means. This line leads to the mechanism that controls the trap. Hover your cursor over the mechanism. If the cursor changes to a trap icon, the trap can be disarmed by interacting with the mechanism. Okay? If you have your entire party selected, the character with the highest relevant skill score will go to disarm the trap. If it is marked with a red area without a dotted line, simply approach the trap and disarm it. Different skills are used to disarm different types of traps. So this is what I just said. Okay. Okay. So, oh god, wait. Everybody stop.
The Emperor favors me
Good.
today.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I wish there was like a sneak mode. Maybe it doesn't make sense for Warhammer. The Lady Navigator statue looks pristine and new. Lady Cassia. Okay. Stand firm, we must not let the miscreants defile House Orselio. Fire at will for House Orselio!
Take a knee and bow before me.
Purge them!
So, I'm not even exactly sure if the other guy that we spoke to before is telling the truth. We only have one side of the story. And here we have 3 enemies over there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 enemies over here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. This is the commander with 50 wounds. There's a guard medicae, I imagine it's a healer with 37. And then these others have 10 and 15 HP each. Okay. So we have the high ground on the guys downstairs. I am not sure. No, I think if I have a character over here, it's not in cover from the people firing from this side. I also don't have any kind of full cover, which makes me kind of sad. I will place Argenta over here. I will move Abelard probably over here to have 2 squares for a charge. That seems good for me, and it's also in cover. Then I will have Idira behind this little desk and see what she can do. And finally, myself, the rogue trader. I also don't have a lot of options, so I think I will stay like here. I don't like sticking too close to one another because if they use burst attacks, they can hit multiple of my people, which is kind of sucky. Something that I'm also curious, how is it that 4 of my people have temporary wounds? Two random allies. I'm not sure if this is also counting, because this guy also has it. But then again, he also has Master of Command, which does not is not taking place. So, not really sure how this is happening. So you can go over here, and let's begin. So Argenta starts, which means I think I'm gonna take her right here to start bursting down everybody over there. So if I'm here, I have line of sight for everyone. And how does this look? There's a lot of cover along the way, though. Okay, so what if I go here instead? I'm not sure if it's much better, but I guess I have line of sight for a lot of them, so it could make sense. Okay, I'll. What about here? Sorry. From here, I can still target everybody and also their command. Yeah, okay, I like this one. I'm going to come over here. Hopefully this guy doesn't reach around, but if he does, he's kind of weak. So I think I'm good. So let's go over here and burst. And I'm gonna try and hit as many people as possible. Like this.
Rejoice in battle!
Okay, we shot 3 guys, I think. I'm gonna use run and gun and go again. Okay, same kind of angle.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Strike is a prayer. Translated.
Okay, I think we just shot this guy 3 times and killed him. Oh, we also killed the tiny one. Nice. Okay, well, let's use our Furious Recital. Since we hit a couple of enemies, it could give us a decent amount of momentum.
I'll do it.
Decent enough. The squad commander is giving bonus turns to other people.
My ears are
Okay.
ringing.
That's mostly okay, as long as they focus on him. Dude, you're shooting... Oh. Thank you. Well, that happens. Okay, so Idira. First of all, let's go defensive here. I'm going to give forewarning to Abelard.
On it.
To give him some extra chances to dodge. And then what? Can I reach? No. What if I go over here? Can then I reach? Only one of them. If I go over here, I'm not sure if Abelard can pass through me. Well, I'm learning, so it's time for us to learn. I can hit their commander and also kill another guy in the process, so this sounds very good to me. So we're gonna come over here.
What is this foreboding?
We are going to analyze the commander for extra damage. And then we will go for a lightning arc. It's a shame this guy isn't just slightly closer. Otherwise we'd also take it. But alas. Bzz. Yeah. Now, I would like to understand. This guy took 19 damage with 3 exploits, while the other one took 21. How? Ah, okay, so effective armor reduced it, while this guy had no armor. It seems, at least. Yeah, that's basically it. Analyze enemies plus 30%, and on the commander, analyze enemies plus 50%. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay, so he can move through an ally. That's very good to know. And I'm thinking about... I was thinking about going for him, but honestly, if this guy heals... But this guy should be more dangerous, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go for him then. Okay, so if I come over here, I can charge and hit him. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's it. Or actually, wait, cancel. Cancel. I'm first going to use Brace for Impact. Since I'm gonna be exposed over there, I might as well buff her in the process. So come over here, charge the guy.
A tactically sound approach.
Parried, of course. Strike again.
Target well struck.
Okay, 19 damage, very nice. Man, if the charge had hit, we would have killed him. And now we pop Endure,
Victory is imminent.
giving us some temporary wounds and also making us harder to hit, or harder to damage, let's say. This guy is aiming at her. Okay, my turn. So, it's my turn. What do I want to do? This is no longer a really prime position for Argenta because he's in the way. Unless I go for single shots. So I think I'm actually gonna make Abelard my servant instead of her. So can I reach him? No. What about from here? Yes. Can this also reach? Yes. Okay, perfect then. So let's
Suits
buff
my
him,
purposes.
make him our servant. Let us buff him with Voice of Command.
All too easy.
And now we are going to use Bring It Down.
Already done.
And now I'm upset. Because he only has 2 action points. If a noble uses an ability on their servant, the servant gains +1 AP next turn. What? Does a bonus turn not count as its next turn? Oh, this is so weird. Okay, I'm going to assume that's it. Because, man, because if it worked the way I wanted, I could spend 1 action point to kill this guy and then charge the other one. Like this, I lack 1 action point for that.
I will do like that.
It makes me sad. I already have Endure, but might as well just use it again. Okay. And I can use my turn to shoot this guy. Why not? Nice, 7 damage. This guy's flying. Yeah, 0 damage because of our defensive properties. Yeah, shoot all you want. Now, I'm also gonna see if something else worked, because I'm starting to question if things are working properly. Yeah, okay, so we do have 10 deflection because of the hardened scars, because we were hit 4 times. We have the modifier from Endure, brace for impact. Yeah, we're basically impenetrable here. Very cool. And I think that was all I wanted to check from him. Yeah, okay. So, Sister Argenta. Well, let's go for full cover to activate our bonus and see if it works.
This battlefield in righteous fury.
If I burst, I don't actually hit... Wow, nice! Even like this, I don't hit Abelard. Okay, cool. Oh, like this.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Nice! 1 down, the other 1 damaged. We can even use Revel in Slaughter.
Doubt is for the weak.
And I could use a run and gun to shoot that guy again. I will do that. I will do that indeed. 29%, 18, 28, 18. Go for that one.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
There we go, Argenta. Let's
I'll do
reload since it costs 0 with our talent pick. Pass the turn. I'm kind of surprised we still haven't reached enough momentum. How much do we have? 171. Okay, so if I kill 1 person, I go up to 175. Okay. I don't think I can reach anyone, though. If I were able to move a little bit closer, I could. But then I would be exposed to this guy. But this guy plays after Abelard, who is gonna kill him, so I think I'm okay by moving forward. At least up until I have cover from the downstairs people. So let's move over here. We are going to first check if I can actually reach him. I can. So right now it's not a guaranteed kill. It's 14 up to 27 damage. But if I exploit...
Will do.
He now has 4 stacks, which means he now guaranteed dies. There we go, and now we do have enough momentum for a heroic act. Might as well use my final point to buff, let's say, my Rogue Trader.
Else?
And I don't want to use the heroic act with her, I am instead going to use it with Abelard. So my plan right now is the following. I will go here, charge this guy, likely kill him. And now we are gonna burst fire on this guy.
Indeed.
Miss both shots, activate Daring Breach. We get an extra turn with all of our action points. And actually, I only had 4 action points, right? So the servant thing didn't actually work. Is it bugged, I wonder? Man, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Well, let's just kill this dummy.
It will be done.
And I will worry about that later.
Reduce the dust.
And there we go. Fight done. No injuries obtained, so I'm very happy with the outcome. Ooh, we picked up some new stuff. Okay. We have some goods. The library is full of treatises by the most distinguished scholars of the Imperium, from Aster Militarum tacticians to Adeptus Mechanicus generators, or janitors. Okay, and sorry, I'm gonna look at this again because I'm getting a little bit confused. If a noble uses an ability on their servant, the servant gains +1 AP next turn. Active abilities. Voice of Command. And Bring It Down. What? It should work then, right? Each archetype has a number of unique abilities a character can use in combat. Okay? This doesn't say that it has to be like a specific noble ability. Because I don't think you even have noble abilities, right? Talents. Origin. These are all passive. Yeah, passive. 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 And passive. So it unless I'm missing something which is completely possible, it looks like this is bugged. Okay, I'll have to test it out some more. In any case, let's continue looking at what we have here. Okay, a lot of samey stuff. We are picking up some books. I will want to read them possibly in the next episode. Or maybe one this episode. Data Crypt age 40KO.
What in the world?
Damn you. So yeah, we rolled a 79 when we needed below 70, and then our lucky rolled a 98. Shameful. It seems as if the skillfully crafted sculpture is about to step down from its podium. Okay, since I do have a few minutes, let me just read the book we picked up. Or actually, we have 2 of them. Intercepted conversation between security officers. Tremendous honor, yes, but this promotion will transfer the entire squad to the child's personal guard. By the God Emperor. Well, you are a strapping lad. You will probably make it for a cycle or 3. It has worn down better men than me. What even is the point if your brains turn into mush? I may rip out my eyes like Amos did. At best, I'll just go bonkers like that little shit stain that kept stealing our... Yo? What is this? Oh, what happened to that one? Threw himself out of a depressurized chamber because some voices told him to. Calm down. Keeper Felix said the squad will not have to serve the child for long. He even gave us a little leeway. Unlike that fish-eyed, be quiet, he might hear you. Well, you know what I mean. He almost busted our heads because someone forgot to check the catering unit. We haven't let in a single outsider in over 10 years, but Keeper Theobald keeps finding things to fret over. Imagine the shrieking if he finds out Keeper Felix didn't make us inspect the hangar after Lord Winterscale's most recent visit. Throne forbid! I try to steer clear of the squabbles among the Highborn. Some of Keeper Felix's orders make little sense, like the last time he commanded that we cut off communications with Rykard Minoris for a while. Ah. So I think he lied, right? Why would he do that? It looks like he grew tired of the Winter Scale Scion's visits. Well, it's always a pleasure to aid Keeper Felix. That's right. If the Highborn have grown tired of each other, let them deal with it. Okay. And I'm gonna look at this one as well, because otherwise I'm going to forget on the next episode. Pontius Cepheus Gelasius on the training of worthy servants at the court of the Navis nobility. A good majordomo. Ooh. Name. Majordomo and burn insect. My memory sucks, man. Molten core. Majordomo. Ragnaros. Jesus Christ. A good majordomo attempts to nurture only the finest of flowers in the garden that is their master's life. Therefore, new seeds for the garden must be weeded out with the utmost care so that the garden's trees may yield the sweetest fruit. The lessons below will help you separate the precious seeds from the vile thorns to cultivate the perfect garden for any lady navigator. Lady navigator. Lesson 1. A faithful servant always makes sure their mistress's rooms and garments are clean. Okay. A faithful servant will never offer their mistress the same dress presented earlier in the cycle. A faithful servant offers their mistress a glass of fresh water upon waking. A faithful servant tastes each dish and every drink before serving it to their mistress. A faithful servant will have mastered the art of styling their mistress's hair. The total time that 5 servants can spend on arranging their mistress's coiffure should not exceed 3 revolutions of the chronometer. A faithful servant lives for their mistress and gladly gives their life for her as well. A faithful servant, etc., etc. So this, I imagine, is kind of like a quest item. And we picked up some medium armor, which gives us 20% armor at a cost of 75 dodge penalty, which is kind of rough, man. We have a lasgun, which is, I believe, strictly better than the scrappy autogun. So give me that. Okay, good. And other than that, I think that's all that we've picked up. So yeah, I will stop picking up stuff so that in the next episode I can pick them up and, you know, go through them as we find items. So, my friends, as always, this will be it for this episode. I want to thank you all for being here with me in the channel, watching some Rogue Trader. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Questions, suggestions, anything at all, leave a comment below. If you are enjoying the content, consider subscribing for more. Many more videos coming out soon, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. Until then, stay safe everyone, and praise the Omnissiah.